What's up, dogs? Today I'm bringing you a cheap winner's bite tactic featuring the Frost Guard, the Scholars, and the Drifters. We're going to use winner's bite to reduce tanks block to 0 and freeze platform units. So check this out. Now what's neat about winner's bite is with enough stacks it's going to reduce ground units block to 0, and it also freezes platform units. Now, how is it going to do all that? Well, let's take a look at the Frost Guard. Inflicts winner's bite when hit. So when platform units hit this mob, they're going to accrue stacks of winner bite, and with 3 stacks, they're going to become frozen. And ground units can also only take 3 stacks before their block is reduced. It's a hell of a strong tank with high HP and very good defenses. This thing is great for defenses that have a mix of magic and physical damage. And the winner's bite is going to become more consistent at level 5, but right now mine is level 2, and that's what we're going to be working with today. The next most important unit is the Scholar, and what the Scholar does is apply shields. I mean, this has probably been in everybody's roster of demon soldiers, and you're probably not using it if you have the full, but the nice thing about Scholar is he's better than the full when applying shields to the Frostbourne faction, because he gets a bonus, making his shields stronger than the fulls, and that's why you want to run him. Plus, he's only 3 costs, which is really nice also. So pairing this with the Frost card makes the Frost Guard very hard to kill. And what we'll also be using to apply winner's bite today is the Drifter. This thing does do high attack. It is very fragile, as you can see, but it does get a speed boost the longer it stays on one target. So with a 20% chance to apply winner's bite, 4 of them on the field, all hitting the same target, you're going to be able to apply that winner's bite very quickly as long as the RNG is on your side, because these things do not last long. And the other 2 units that we'll be using are the healers and the dogs. Alright, so this is a straightforward strat. We're going to lay down our healers to bait any ults. We're going to lay down Frost Guard with Scholar. We're going to do that again. Yovar just got frozen. And again. Tanks are already passing through because winner bite is fully applied on Toro. Dropping down our Drifters. And everything is just going to start to pass through. And that's a wrap. I'm just going to demonstrate this again with a little bit stronger team. Going to be very similar to a swarm strat. First we drop down the healer to bait any ults. Once Praetus's ult is down to 50%, we drop down the Frost Guard with a Scholar. Nice. Praetus is getting frozen during his ult. Frozen again. And then we drop down our Drifters. And then as soon as the Drifters reach the tank, we drop dogs. And now I'm just going to slow this down here. Winner's bite fully applies to Toro, which allows the dogs to just pass on through. So kind of a lucky run here, but we take those. Now the Shadowcaster is a decent replacement if you don't have your Drifters level 5, and actually sometimes the Shadowcasters are more consistent and you can run more of a classic swarm. They are much tankier and they do have a chance to dodge, so that's going to allow them to be on the field a lot longer, and sometimes they actually do just outright kill the tank. So here in Guild War today, I ran this strat against a pretty strong ESO comp with Nora, Yemerit, Boreas, Lily, Cyrus, and everything plays out the same with baiting ults and laying down tanks with support. And then I lay down the Shadowcasters, and they just obliterate everything by the time you lay down the dogs. Pretty good on this. It's surprising with the amount of CC, but sometimes it works. And here's a keep I defeated today. I think this strategy works best when the units are placed closely like this. When they're placed further away, this strategy is a bit more difficult. But as you can see, tanks are passing through. One goes down. The other tank is holding strong, passing through also. Shadowcasters get there. Dogs pass through. Victory. So yeah, it seems to work best when there's more platform units. It also works best on speedy tanks like Toro, who are constantly hitting the Frost Guards. It doesn't really work on defenses that have like 3 ground units in a row, like a Nightmare comp. Hatsuit's really hard to get through with her ult. It's kind of vulnerable to CC. Even though the demon soldiers of the Frost Guard are resistant to freeze, it's really hard to apply a Winter's Bite when you're frozen or getting stunned. But yeah, I think that kind of sums it up. It's a couple different strats to try. If you're stuck, you don't know what to run, maybe gamble on the old Winter's Bite strat. Especially if you get the Guardians to level 5. They're going to be so tanky, even more so at level 7. You won't have any issues. I think they'll be more consistent if you get the Frost Mage, who applies Winter Bite on every hit. Or if you have Glacius as well, then these things are going to be totally out of control. The Ice Dogs are kind of interesting. They're more resistant to crowd control. But there's only 2 in a pack, so I don't know how well these will work. Mine are only level 1, so I didn't get a lot of testing done with them. But I'll update you guys as soon as I get things leveled up here. That's it, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care.